The Fantasia trend flag of Fall-Winter 2018-19 creates a playful look with an electric, unconventional mashup of color, form and style.
Here we have had some fun with the eye fancy stone, giving it lashes using fancy stones and placing it on crystal fabric to represent kohl eyeliner.
Bold colors, plush textures and cuddly toys create the fantasy mood. Try using the new Starbloom Fancy Stone as the center for leather or fun fur flowers.
Bursts of neon say, "Look at me," while kidal charms appeal to our sense of innocence. Create candy flowers using crystal pearls centered with fancy stones, or use a bespoke acrylic casing centered with last season's No Hotfix square. When it comes to tech, it's all about having fun, but that doesn't mean it can't be sophisticated.
This phone looks both stylish and playful, with an embedded cover of graphic fabric in geometric print.
Headphones get a cartoon makeover with crystal detailing and embossed leather at it. Try personalizing with your own design or logo.
Get cute with jewelry made for your earbud cables. The Starbloom Fancy Stone will add a touch of sparkle to whatever you're listening to.
The Nostalgia trend flag takes its inspiration from antique lace.
Refined and delicate Victorian-style patterns are a feature of the modern lace transfer. Combine crystal cabochons and the latest jewelry cut flatbacks with chalk white crystals to create a beautiful embellishment. Notice the middle section with the slim trillion fancy stone covered in black net.
Allow the brilliance of key crystals to shine out against a simple pared back aesthetic. Contrast with the intricate shimmer of a crystal ultra-fine rock motif in slim trillion fancy stone.
Opulent border designs will soften hard edges. Notice how delicate pieces achieve balance when offset by dramatic proportions. Large fancy stones and crystal brown pearls border a band of fine crystal galusha. The Nostalgia jewelry flag memorializes Victorian Gothic melancholy with a whimsical twist.
A detachable Iris von Herpen pendant is hidden in the Victorian locket to create an element of surprise.
A brooch of entwined twigs blooming with the new Trilliant and Starbloom fancy stones has a wistful mood. Its hanging star represents purity and focus.
You'll also see the Trilliant and Starbloom stones united in a vintage metal style brooch to spectacular effect. The secret is that while both cuts suggest a classic application, used together, they allow dazzling fresh combinations.
The Elegancia trend flag for Fall-Winter 2018-19 brings opulent embellishment typical of 20s flapper style right up to date for the dance sport segment.
Its edgy interpretation of long, lean silhouettes bedazzled by jewels is reflected in a collier transfer made up of the latest jewelry cut flatbacks with fancy stones and crystal beads in a new scarlet color.
To create an eye-catching brooch effect, try combining a Trillion sew-on stone and a transfer made of jewelry cut flatbacks with crystal brown pearls and fancy stones in scarlet.
Vintage brocade styles get a contemporary makeover when long, figure-hugging satins are decorated with an Art Deco transfer motif. Its scarlet fancy stones and crystal beads are set off brilliantly by Shiny Lacquer Pro in dark red. The 20s were famous as the decade of decadence and dance. Cascading crystals that catch the light and reflect its joyful movement are the main inspiration.
Old Hollywood glamour meets the finest high-end jewelry in dance sport garments. The centerpiece arranges the latest jewelry cut flatbacks, trillions and fancy stones in a dazzling transfer.
Strap detailing enhanced with shimmering lines is a key feature. This top section combines individual straps into one woven design for added impact. The Albania trend flag for Fall-Winter 2018-19 brings streetwise attitude with hardware offset by high-shine metallics, lustral pearls and sparkling crystals.
Scrap metal style shines through when you join fabrics by screwing down a metal plate embellished with Swarovski's new 3D stud.
Decorating a patchwork of fabrics with crystal transfers to give a tarnished or rusted finish creates an on-trend upcycled look.
The cord belt has casual, recycled chic when the new scarlet crystals are asymmetrically entwined with scavenged metal hardware, weighted with a double spike or arrow bead. Taking inspiration from sustainability, survivalists, and nomadic ideas, unwanted materials are scavenged and recycled to create new and beautiful things.
A leather purse is encircled with 3D studs, then decorated with tilted shut-on fancy stones, baroque beads, and crystal pearls set into metal nuts.
Accessories can be made to look worn and distressed by combining spike banding with 3D studs in a variety of casing and crystal colors.
Wire mesh and fencing inspired this design, which uses leather cord to entwine crystal ultrafine rocks.